Oh, hey there. I have a very different kind of video today. So every time I put a review and rating into Goodreads, I'm always curious to see what the ratings are on Goodreads, the average, and to read some other reviews to see if my thoughts are the same as the average Goodreads reader. So I thought it'd be fun to look on my Goodreads profile and just look at the top books and see if I agree and just kind of react to them. Different kind of video today, but again, if you do like this video, please like and subscribe, hit the little bell icon. I do 3 videos a month, including my monthly book roundup of everything I read with short reviews and ratings. So let's get started. I have my laptop up here, so I have number 1 with an average of 5.00. That means everyone that ranked it, loved it, is Orchestral Performance, A Guide for Conductors and Players. If you didn't know, I'm a musician. So this is a book that I read. It's kind of a big, thick textbook that only musicians would love. So it's interesting that it's 5 out of 5. Let me see how many people actually review. There's 1 rating. So mine is the only review, so that's why it's a 5 out of 5. Wow. So I guess if you take if you take over here the people that read music textbooks and the people over here that rank books on Goodreads and you put them together, I guess I'm in the middle. Wow, so that's a good start. All right, the next one down is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson, 4.74. That's a really high average. That means a lot of people gave it a 5 out of 5. I gave it a 4.5. I read it just last month, and I'd say the only thing I disagree with this is I don't think it's the best one in the series. I think Way of Kings is better. Although I do understand why people would rank this higher. The backstory I didn't think of Shallan was as interesting as Kaladin's story in the first book, but the plot moved a lot further along in this book than the first one. So I kind of get that rating. So that's fine with me. The third one is Firefly, A Celebration, 4.67. It's Joss Whedon's show Firefly. You can tell behind me I love that show. It's one of my favorites, and so that's kind of a niche audience. So only if the people that are fans of Firefly would buy that book. So of course they would rank it high, and looks like my score brought it down because I only gave it a 4 out of 5. Okay, up next, more of my TV love. Finding Lost by Nikki Stafford. Again, a niche audience. I love the show Lost. Still love it. Even though a lot of people hated the ending, I thought it was great. Anyway, agree to disagree. It was a 4.62. Again, you know, just a lot of us are fans of that, are going to be the only people that actually read a book like that. So I can see how that's a high rating. All right, what's up next? Okay, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, 4.62. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's the best book in the series. I think the book has some problems. I think there are some fundamental problems with this last book. I could wander and talk about that for a long time, which I don't want to do that, but I get it. It was eagerly anticipated. It had an ending that wrapped things up real nice in a bow. I didn't love the ending. I thought it was okay. I hated the epilogue. That's one thing I will say. That was just the worst idea ever. But, I mean, I get it. 4.62, the end of Harry Potter's story. Okay, I guess it's okay. All right, the next one is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, 4.61. Just below, that was a 5 out of 5. I said in my review a couple months ago when I read this that I think it was the best first book of any book series that I'd ever read. I stand by that. I think it was just truly fantastic, and it deserves every bit of that. I gave it a 5 out of 5. All right, next up, another music textbook. I Saw the World End by Derek Cook. That was an exploration of Wagner's Ring Cycle and where all the literary references came from as he was writing the libretto. Let me see if more people read that besides me. Well, it has to be more than just me. It's a 4.6. Hey, 48 people read that, so maybe just people didn't like Christopher Adie's book enough to rank it on Goodreads. All right, up next we have Oathbringer. So there's a lot of Sanderson on this list. That's book 3 of the Stormlight Archive, 4.58. I give it a 4.5, so I think that's probably about right. I think a lot of these Sanderson books, though, are probably ranked a little higher than they might be, only because of the anticipation. You know, when someone's waiting 2 or 3 years to get the next book in a series, they're obviously going to be really, really excited about it. So they're probably going to rank it pretty high if it's good. And especially when it's Sanderson and he just nails the ending like he does every single time. All right. Okay, I don't like this one. 4.57, we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Stay there. Hold on. So this is my problem with The Prisoner of Azkaban. So in The Prisoner, if you didn't see that when I held up, this is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. One of the worst things I've ever read. In fact, on my rating scale, I put it as a 0.5, which a 0.5 is below a book I hate. It's a book that I wish hadn't been written. So in Azkaban, Rowling wrote herself into a corner, didn't know how to end it. So, oh, time travel. Here, we'll fix everything with that. Horrible idea. Horrible way to get out of what was a very good book. And I understand people that love it. Sirius Black, the world building, I mean, it has a lot of great things, but it has the single worst plot device in the entire series that gave rise to this horrible book. I can't believe I just threw that. Horrible book. The guy who wrote it, it's not Rowling's story. There's no way that she wrote that, because would she write Harry Potter as a horrible father? No. The guy that wrote this has some of the lowest ratings on Goodreads you ever read. And that is, it took the worst thing about the Harry Potter series and made it a thing. So that's why I think Azkaban is way too high. I probably gave it a 4 out of, I gave it a 4 out of 5. But the time turner ruined it, because it kind of ruined the end of the story, which maybe they'll decanonize it. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's move on. Enough of that. All right, more Harry Potter. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, 4.57. Yeah, I think that's the best book in the series. I truly believe that. You got the death of the mentor in the Campbellian, hero's journey of Harry Potter. It's the book where Harry grows up, and the reveal of the Half-Blood Prince at the end was brilliant. I think it's the best book in the series, so that one's pretty solid up there. More Harry Potter. Goblet of Fire, 4.56. I enjoyed Goblet of Fire. I liked the Triwizard Tournament, and I liked the Quidditch at the beginning, and it was a book that was starting to grow up, as each book got a little bit more advanced from the kids' books that were the first 2 installments. So I enjoyed it, and I can see why it's a 4.56. I gave it 4 stars. Let's just do a couple more. Cast, The Origins of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson, I read last year. One of the best books I read last year. It's one of those stories that hits you kind of hard as an American when you see some of the things that permeate our society, and it's so well told. She is a fantastic writer. Cast, The Origins of Our Discontents, 4.56, very solid. I gave it a 5.5. It was one of the top 3 nonfiction reads I read in 2020. All right, let's just do 2 more and send you on your way. Dawn Shard by Brandon Sanderson. Okay, this is wrong. I mentioned in talking about the Stormlight books that people are so excited because they have to wait 2 to 3 years and they get excited. I just read this. I finished this like less than 2 weeks ago. I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's good. It's not a 4.56 out of 5. It's not a top 15 book that I've ever read at all. First of all, it's a novella, but that one is definitely way too high. All right, Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin. This will be a good final installment here. So Storm of Swords is the best book in A Song of Ice and Fire, in my opinion, and I'm glad it's ranked highest here. It has a 4.53 rating. It's got a lot of Tyrion, which is my favorite character from that series. It's got a good amount of Arya. It's got a good amount of Jon Snow and Daenerys, and it has some of the biggest events that happen in the entire series. Red Wedding, Joffrey's comeuppance. I mean, it's so fantastic. So that's a good way to end this one. Anyway, this was a kind of a just real quick reaction video. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll do more of these. Maybe I'll do one on to see what my lowest rated books on Goodreads are. That might be kind of fun. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little bell icon so you can be aware of videos when I drop them. Please follow me on Twitter, and you can follow me on Goodreads, and you can see all of the ratings and reviews that I wrote about these 15 books here. But as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.